Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines in our Rebuild or Redevelop series. Basically, what that means is if a natural disaster strikes our city and destroys something, we will either rebuild it or redevelop it. You guys will decide in one of my community posts if and when that happens. Last time we did have some lightning over here somewhere. So when that lightning struck, had it destroyed a part of our city, we would have been deciding to either rebuild or redevelop. But for now, our tiny little unnamed city is doing well. We're almost at 2,800 people. Once we hit 2,800 people, we will unlock, what is it? Not Boomtown. Busy Town. We'll unlock Busy Town. So this will give us a bunch more different policies, but we'll also get some new road types. We'll get some trees and things like that. And do we get any? We get some more. We get an oil power plant. So we do get some other things that we might end up using in this park. And we do get some of our first disaster type buildings, so we can start monitoring for disasters. Oh wow! As well as a lot of other things here. Oh no, this is 5,000. Boomtown. What do we get here? Oh, we get highways. Well, that's exciting. So this is about to happen any second now. We get highways, and then we get some other small things here, including death care, which is something we'll have to worry about. So while we're waiting for that to happen, let's go and put this on 2 times speed. We have $16,000. We are going to need to think about some additional industry. What I'm thinking I want to do here, oh, here we go. We're getting a disaster in its own right, a little fire. We're going to try to redo this interchange today, but what I want to do is I also want to start expanding some industry over to this area. And so before we work on anything here with our farming, we could work on this some for now, but I'm actually going to leave this alone. I think I'm happy with where we're at. It just costs so much to kind of get that on the ground and running. So let's go ahead and just build out some more industry over in this space. So we're going to bring this out, I think, by 2, and we'll do a pretty standard. I know we were going to try to get away from the grids, but since we're doing industry, I think we will leave a normal little grid here. We'll do a small section for it. So maybe just, I'd say this bit here can be our new little industry zone. I'm going to try to do something a bit different with this series that I kind of mentioned in the last part, but I want to better integrate my industry throughout the city so that I'm not having these larger industry zones separate from everything else. I want to have things a bit closer together and things that just make a little bit more sense in a way an actual city would develop. That there would be some industry kind of spread throughout the area, and I think that's also going to help us with traffic and those types of issues. So if we can avoid some of that, that would be awesome. So let's go ahead and bring in a power line from this side. It's actually already connected up, which is great. We'll bring that over to there. Oh, and we just unlocked Boomtown, right? Yes, Busy Town, Boomtown. Okay, we unlocked Boomtown. With Boomtown, like we just looked at, we do get transportation services, which is awesome. So we'll get some buses and things like that, although we're not really that big yet to worry about that. We do also get the post service, which will be great to kind of get people to level up, as well as the ore industry. We get some highways, which is why we're going to kind of deal with that, I think, a bit today. And I do want to mess around with some of these busways with trees and things, but we'll do that once we build buses. And then we also have advanced wind turbine, a cemetery, so we're going to need to deal with death care. We got elder care, child health care centers. We get a shortwave radio mast, an emergency shelter. Maybe we'll build these just so that we can kind of start some of that disaster stuff. And then we also have unlocked wave power plant, fish factory. Ooh, speaking of fish factory, we have some fish, which is awesome. So down here, oh wow, we actually have all 4 types. We have some tuna in some areas. This here has some shellfish, salmon, and anchovy. In our river here, close to the city, we have access to what looks like some tuna and some salmon. So maybe we will build some fishing industry today as well. Let's bring this back to the 2 times speed. It looks like we were able to put that fire out. But now that we have $50,000, I'm thinking, actually, let's pause. I'm thinking I do want to go ahead and try to mess around with this interchange a bit, just so that I can start to marry into this other side. It might not make a lot of sense this early on, already making some highway changes, but I'm not in love with this as it is. I also kind of hate that this whole section here is elevated. It just seems a little strange. I don't think we'll get any money back for fixing that right now, so we're gonna leave it alone. We don't nearly have enough money to deal with that. But let's go ahead and add in this road. I'm thinking this will go underneath, so maybe we bring this out. Let's bring this 15 to here, and it connects right into this spot, which is awesome. How do I get a perfect 90? We hold shift? It doesn't. Oh, it tells me the yardage. Oh, wow. Well, let's do, if this is 16 yards away from here, let's actually back this up then, and let's make this 6, because then we should be, or 17, okay? So if we make it 8, we should be 15. Okay, nope, let's make it 9. And we were 15 units. Okay, we're 15 units away. So let's then go ahead and go down, I think, 23 units. And we'll go out, 10 this way. But if we anarchy this underneath, we should be able to go just like this, bring this back up to ground level. That's 12 units. How many units was this slope here? 10 units. Okay, so we'll survive with this 12 unit connection there. And let's see if this is enough. So then if I go to our highway roads, right? This is 6-lane roads. We want highways. And we go to, what is this? This is a 3-lane. This is like the normal, the base standard game highway. 3-lane highway. Let's upgrade these to raised highways. Oh wow, each of these is like 1,000. Do we want to upgrade both of these, or do we want to change this around a bit? I think we want to change this around a bit. Let's delete both of these, and instead of upgrading, let's just bring it straight on over. Not minus 23. Here we go, that's why. So we'll bring it from here to here. It does look like it is potentially still... It's potentially clipping a bit. Oh, it's absolutely clipping. All right, so then we'll use move it just to make this a bit easier. Let's go ahead and lower this down. I think we're gonna at least want the street lights below. I don't want to have to necessarily see them, but we're gonna want the street lights below the highway. So if we are here, you can see the street lights are above the road. Let's rotate around. So right now they're still in the sidewalk, and now they're underneath, which is great. So then let's take these two. I guess they are already sloped as much as they're going to be. Slope objects, yeah, they're already sloped as much as they're going to be. But this side, we could actually slope one additional slope objects, just so that we have a bit nicer of a dip there. This might be a bit intense, but I'm okay with it. So let's reconnect these together. Let's go back to normal road. Send these guys this way. Send these guys this way. For this, we're actually just going to delete it and then connect like so. And then let's flip this bridge around. So now we have this connection here. And I want to then... I kind of just want to do like a diamond interchange here, to be totally honest. Like, I don't think I need to do much else. The best way that we're going to connect this up, at least for now, while we don't have tons of money, because I do want to use this for some healthcare and some other things, or some death care. Let's just use, actually, where's the off-ramps? Are these off-ramps? No, these are just 1-lane roads. So the off-ramps are still in the highway. Why don't we, I deleted this extra road here. We can reconnect it in a moment, but I want to make sure I get a decent connection set up here. I wouldn't mind having these connections come out of here. Let's keep them on the ground. We'll bring this up until it reaches ground level. I think 12. How steep is that? It's not too bad. So we'll do a 12 unit there. And I would say, let's go ahead and maybe, okay, 7. Can we do 7 and 7? No, but 7 and 6. Does a nice little curve. We'll go ahead and fix that here in a moment. And what was this length? This was 12. So we're going to go 12 again, bring it back up to ground level. And then we're going to do 7 and 6. So 7 and then 6 here. Now let's flip these two around. So these are coming down, these are going up, which is good. And then for this side, it's going to be done just a bit differently because we do have some development already in place. And I do want to try to respect the buildings we've already put down. So I'm thinking for this, probably make more sense I would like for this to curve kind of this way, like it would come down like so and curve over into this spot. Let's see if we can do that. If we bring this over like this, it makes some really funky shapes. What happens if I bring this just straight over? Is that nuts? Not really. We could put a fence back there and kind of block it off from being so wild. What was our measurements here? So we've got 20 units total. Looks like it's at 5.5 degrees. I don't really know what the inverse of that would be, but this is also 20 units total, so this would work out. And then this could then switch over this direction. All right, so now we have all this. Let's change, just smooth out, I think, this little section here. We'll get a softer brush. That is not it. We want, is this smooth? Level terrain. No, we want to soften everything. Lower the brush intensity, or the brush strength, up the size back to 60 or so. Let's just smooth out these edges that are along the side of the highway. And I think we'll also smooth out these edges that go behind these buildings. And then I think what I want to do, we've spent way too long on this guy, but I think the only other thing I want to do to this is I want to add in just a little bit of fencing along the edge here so that we can just kind of protect everybody who's walking past this area. Alright, so I did a lot of this off of camera here, but I did just kind of get in there and finesse these a little bit. Actually, I'm going to do one more right here and just kind of scoot that up. Just so that they fit in a bit nicer. We can pretend that it would do something for noise reduction. It probably won't in terms of the game, but in our minds it does. Let's go ahead and just add in, we will add in just a few more trees, just so that there is a bit of a buffer here for those who live here. Again, we are trying to keep it somewhat arid and somewhat sparse, but like right across the way, there was a decent amount of trees there. So let's just put in a few extra along at least this row, and then we'll add in that grass too. I really like how this grass looks on this map, and with our current LUT, it just really shines. All right, so we'll put a little bit here to actually really fill it up. There we go. All right, so that kind of gives a little buffer for all those who now unfortunately have the new highway interchange right behind them. And then I think with that, that's going to be what we want to do for this. I'm going to change this middle road just a little bit. This is the medium road. Does a medium road come with 4-lane road with turning lanes? That's exactly what we want. Really, I think we can set this whole thing to have these turning lanes. Yeah, I think that's great. And we'll set this one here as well to have the turning lane. So you can then... Well, I guess we really want the 2 lanes there. Is this a 6-lane 4+2? Here, we want this one. Wow. Okay, hold on. Now we're getting really into it. Because if this becomes this, then you have a dedicated road that can turn off of here. So if we grab this guy, you turn here, these guys obviously go straight and they know that. And then if we come over to this one is the only one that can turn here, and the other ones go straight and they know that too. Okay, great. I love that. Now I do want to think about maybe changing this road now that we've unlocked them so that we have a road that has some kind of median to it. I guess that would just be the standard. What does this have? Just a 4-lane road. 4-lane road with parking spaces supports medium traffic. A 4-lane road with parking spaces supports medium traffic. Speed 50. Speed 60, so the speed by default there is a bit faster, but in terms of price, it's a little bit cheaper to make those ones from the workshop. Well, let's go ahead and upgrade these. Just because now that we have, you know, a little median there, I kind of want to keep that as long as we can. For that can stay the same. All right, and then when we get to this intersection, since this is our main corridor, we should not be spending our money on this, but I can't help myself. Where's the road with trees? Is it the large road? Oh, we haven't unlocked it yet. We unlock it at 5,000. This is what happens when you read this incorrectly. Okay, well, when we get that, we can then go in and fix that up. All right, that looks pretty good for now. I know I deleted this road, but I'm actually gonna go ahead and add it back. I think I want to have this coming through and just connecting up. It just gives an extra, kind of just fills this out nicer. I think that looks nice. All right, now we have this extra zoning. We're gonna go ahead back and hit play. So let's add in this death care, because that's something that I think if we don't keep up on, it will sneak up on us. We've got our farmland here, as well as a lot of our people living in this area. This is all industrial, so there's not a whole lot we can do with this space, so we could place it here, although that would be unfortunate. So maybe we place it up this way, although it will end access to this road. But you know what? That will force us to get off of this grid that we currently have. So it might make sense to do that. Let's turn off anarchy just so we don't place it somewhere that doesn't actually work. I think this is a decent spot. It's going to mean we have to kind of change our road structure here a bit, and I think that that's exactly what we need. There was one other edit actually that I meant to make. When I was editing part 2, I realized that we didn't actually put a pathway in here. If you're leaving comments telling me, you know, all the things I'm doing wrong, which there are probably many, I haven't seen them yet. I'm actually trying to do a bunch of batch recording here just while I'm on break, you know, for the holidays. So this is the 3rd episode of the series. I have done all 3 so far completely on my own without posting the first one. So I've not even seen the first episode's feedback, but once I do, we will kind of jump in and make some of those edits. All right, so now we've got our death care. We also unlocked, what was it, buses and things like that. I think it's too early to do some of that. So why don't we go ahead and begin to work on the, a bit more on the farming. Oh, here's the other things we unlocked. Cemetery, childcare. Yeah. Let's do a bit more farming, but then I also think we might want to entertain doing a little bit more, or doing the fishing industry. I think that would be great too. So let's go here. We've got our forest stuff. We've got 90 of 90 workers, so it is time to expand. We need at least 150 available spots to reach the next level. So why don't we think about putting in the, where is it? Here we go, small animal pasture. So this would fit really nicely right in the middle here if we expanded this dirt road forward. Let's turn back on all of our locks, bring this forward, but now we can place the animal pasture right in the middle. So if you want to come over here, you can pop right out, scoot right over, drop off goods. We've got tons of storage there. Do we want to do cows? I say we do, let's do pigs, or let's do sheep. I like the sheep. So we're going to put one here. I do think I want a second one. So this is going to constantly be fed crops, and we're finally going to start using these besides just selling them. How is the workers going? 5 of 25 or 6 of 25, so it's going to start moving up. Let's actually place 2 additional orchards. This time we'll do a different orchard. We'll do the like apples or just something a bit different. But this is going to produce even more. We got oranges. That's great. Even more goods for us. We'll bring this forward just so that we can go ahead and cap this section off. How many spaces does this guy take up? If we wanted a second one in the future. All right, so we'd put our road right there. So let's go ahead and place our road here. We have enough space to fit another one of these when we're ready for it. But I think now this is producing animal products. We're going to need to store that somewhere. So let's go ahead. How are you doing? Still 70% full. The rest they'll sell, so I think we're okay for now in terms of storage. We'll see how this pans out. We might need to place additional storage somewhere else. But let's place down a small factory or small warehouse. Since it's the animal products, I don't want to place them in a yard. That just seems a little ridiculous. So we'll place this factory, maybe we'll place it over this way. So it's going to be over here in this industrial area. It's not going to be right next door, which I'm fine with. We'll set this to animal products. And now we can have people come over this way. And we are having a serious issue with workers. So I think that means it's time to actually begin to expand. We will do a bit of expansion over this direction. just because we just built it. So we want to kind of use the new area we've built. We'll do the normal one from the game. We're going to bring this up to here. And I will at least connect, it's a very small lot area, but that's okay. We will connect these two here. And we'll do, I think, 2 sets of grids off of this side. So we'll do 1, and then this will be our second. And then from here, I think now we want to start thinking about, we have 25,000. Yeah, let's go ahead and think about kind of shifting this up a little bit. So I think if we have a road come out in the middle here, I want to make a little bit of an interesting neighborhood in this area. Those will be like 2 of the entrances. I think this can come down here, and then we go ahead and curve this over. I think we take this one, I think we come out to 5 units. We curve for the other 5. But I want to make some type of like small enclosed neighborhood over here. So let's actually bring this out. I want to do that. Bring that out 5. And then maybe we come out a full 10. Bring it up 10. And then I think in the middle here, we'll bring this forward by 20. We'll bring this over. But I think I want to actually switch over to this tool now, the freeform. If I say that, I'm going to build a straight line. But let's do this. Alright, some kind of interesting shape. Maybe this will actually send out a small straight here as well. Maybe 5 units like we've been doing. Actually, let's do this 6 units because we're going to add a little roundabout on the end here. So let's bring the size down to maybe 16. Oh, I don't want it to keep open. We'll put one here. Put one here, and then we might even do, actually it has a pretty decent amount of zoning. It's interesting looking. It's something, but it's just going to break up some of the grid that we have. So we'll do this here, and then I think we will send, we're at 31,000, so we'll send one more road out this way that will connect up to the main road, and that can be another exit. And maybe we'll send, I wouldn't mind having this totally encased, just so we can get some other zoning here as well. Maybe there'll be a 4th exit over this way, but that also gives us access to this area. Do we want to do one more? Maybe we bring this out. Oh, let's switch to the smaller ones. We'll switch to like this small 2-lane road. We'll curve this up here. And then we'll use a little meandering. No, we'll go straight just a bit more. Let's go straight 4. Do I want to curve it at all? Actually, I don't want to curve it at all. We're going to do it just like that. Can we pick the one lane parking? Ooh, I didn't know that was even an option. We'll try it out. We'll see how she goes. We have this smaller 1-lane road right there. It's something. All right, let's make sure this is all watered up. So for now, we're actually just going to go follow right around this square. It's very much like got the look of a planned community, which isn't a bad thing. We'll send this right to the middle. Send this to the middle. Send this over. Can we reach that square? Not really in an easy way. So let's turn all these off, and we're gonna really follow the road here. It's an excessive amount of pipes, but I do want to connect back over here. All right, so now that's all set up. Let's go ahead and just fill this in with some zoning. So we'll use the brush here. We're gonna fill in everything except for that little middle piece. I don't want the middle bits filled in. Although actually, before we do that, why don't we upgrade these guys to these 2-lane roads instead of having them being a 1-way road? And since they're cul-de-sacs, let's make them smaller. I kind of like those for these like smaller, stranger stranger shapes that we have. Let's clear out this center one. Let's fill in all of these. Let's put this back on play. Now there's not a lot of services over here, so that's something we have to keep in mind for the next part. But let's fill in all that. I think we'll also fill in all of this. I don't see why not. There's such a huge demand for residential right now that we might as well give the people what they're asking for. I think we'll leave this little part here for a park, but then we can also come in and do a 4 there, fill in all of this, and then let's also, we'll leave the first row for sure for businesses. You know what, maybe this will go even further back. I think this goes all the way to there. And we do a little row of industry or of commercial, and then we'll put in our paths like we normally do. Let's at least turn on the grid, and hopefully pretty quickly this can start to fix some of those issues. I think we are going to put another one over this way. It's going to cut through some of that zoning, but that's okay. And then this all needs power. So this is not going to do anything for us until we can get some power over to it. Let's come right next to this house. And then let's raise this to 26. Send it across the street at 26, as long as nothing hits it, although they just might intersect. I want to see a larger truck. Oh, we're fine. Totally fine. And then we're going to send it right back down to ground level. And then we will go from here. We've got all this set to zone, but I think we send it like into the heart of this area so that it's really connected up. We'll get some buildings going in there, and then let's go ahead and, oh, we need water over here. But let's go ahead and set this up as its own district. We've got these two here. I think this whole area can be a district, all the way up to the highway. Okay, I think that looks good. We've got this little community coming in, not a grid at all. We do still have grid access, but we might make something similar and make a few of these just to kind of, you know, I don't know, do something a bit different with some strange streets. But I do want to start branching out and filling in this area as well. And for this, I want to do some winding roads and really set us up for just a unique look. Now, how are we looking here? What do we need to level up? We need 150 workers until the next level, and we have the capacity for that. But I think we're going to need some greater demand for industry, which might take a while just because there's so much abandoned here before we're going to reach that level. So we'll keep an eye on this. If we need to build more, we can. Let's actually add in the little path we've been doing all the way around. And let's expand our, oops, I did not mean to close that. Let's expand our fencing, which to do that, we need to turn off collision. And I think we also need to, we have anarchy already on, which is great. So we'll go ahead and just send this over to here. But let's turn off everything but angle. And I think for now, we're going to actually bring this to this point to kind of close it off. Now, people will still cut right through, but I think for aesthetics, it looks nice. You still need some goods. We've got more than enough goods here. So why don't we go ahead and just to kind of close things out in a way to help us kind of rebalance, let's build one more grain silo. They're both set to balance, but it looks like all the trucks here are in use. And this is going to start to have more trucks in use. So that's going to need a little bit more. How are you doing? 10% full. Okay, great. And then this is slowly recovering here, equaling out. We do have a bit more demand for commercial, so we'll do a little plop of commercial there. I don't know what this will be, but I do want to think about additional services like another dump, as well as bus routes and things now that we're kind of working on both sides of the highway. But I think this is looking really nice. Wow, we actually had a huge expansion this episode, and we've got 32,000 people. So we've done a great job with kind of keeping that population moving up. Let's just double check where we're at. Yeah, population change. We've really kind of jumped up here with this new expansion. So that's great. The next milestone's not for a while, so we've got some more time to do some additional work here. But I think that's where we're going to leave this part here. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this part, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Leave some comments below about some suggestions and some things that we should do in terms of naming these districts, naming industries. Tell me what you think about this. It's a temporary change. I don't think it's a permanent fix, but for now, I think this is a little bit more realistic for just the size of the area we're working with. And I think we should maybe think about building another interchange over in this area as well. As we keep expanding. But I think that's going to be it for this part here. No disasters this time, but we'll see what happens in the next one. And I will see you guys, well, in the next one.